Alright, this little video I'm doing some rocker panel moldings on my own. This is my 66 Coupe, and originally these had rocker panel moldings on them, and when I purchased this car they had been taken off and the original holes filled and repainted. So I decided to take this project on myself. Didn't find a whole lot on the internet to kind of help me, so I thought I'd pass this along to help other folks that are maybe looking at putting these rocker panels on. But little something I highly recommend is pick up a piece of poster board. That's all that is poster board that I cut up into about 5-6 inch pieces to give yourself kind of a running line or a template to go off of, because these cars, it's kind of hard to find an exact measuring point and line it up. I even tried using a laser level, which was a little difficult, but anyway, I went ahead and made this template up. This is the molding here. You'll see I've laid the clips out. You'll have these two larger clips that'll screw in the back fender well and the front fender well, and then you have these small clips here that are going to be riveted in. I think the spacing is about 13 inches apart on each of them. These clips here are going to go on the front fender well kind of up like this, and they'll go in to catch the front of that molding. But you know what I've done is I've kind of went along and marked my holes where I'm going to start drilling for these retainer clips here, which are going to be pop riveted in. So you're going to need, tool wise, a pop rivet gun. These kits come with the rivets and everything you need to mount them. Certainly a drill with a couple of drill bits, and I recommend a rubber mallet to kind of tap the molding as you get it on there. So anyway, I'm going to get started here, and you'll also need a tape measure, and what you're going to want to do is measure off the lip here below the door. And the way I'm mounting mine is I think I went down 9/16 of an inch from the top here, where this first bracket is going to sit like this on the mold on the side of the car here on that rocker panel. And I'm installing mine just a little bit below that door lip. You certainly have a little bit of room to play there, 1/4 to 1/2 inch down. You just want to really make sure that that's not right up against that door jamb, because the door may hang up. Here's one side that I installed already, so you can see how that's set real nice right along there. And again, if you open that door up, you'll kind of see, you know, how that's riding maybe 1/4 of an 1/8 of an inch off that that rocker panel, that trim or break right there as it goes across. So it's a nice clean fit, but it's not a hard job. You just want to take your time, really get things lined up, and again, I think that poster board template works very well to just get yourself kind of a running straight line on it. So hope this helps. Okay, again, you can see how I have this template lined up, and you know what I've done is gone again from the lip here 9/16 of an inch down, where that top bracket is going to go just like this. Again, that poster board really creates a nice straight template for me. Probably not going to be 100% accurate, but I think it'll certainly work for us. See how I have that drill position? This will also help, I think, from causing that drill bit to ride along and scuff your paint up real bad. It gives kind of a good start into that paint. One thing I found pretty easy up towards the front here, because you're about 13 inches off the corner of that wheel well to this first side bracket. You're going to have these other front brackets that have to go on here, and you can see there's a large screw. You're going to want to bring those back about 1 inch off the corner. So to get a good line, if you just stick that rivet in that one top hole there, and you see the center hole is going to line up pretty much right with the center screw there. So you can kind of come in 1 inch from the corner, maybe 1.5 inches, and then just kind of mark off that line. Use that, again, that template to measure down, and you should be in good shape. Okay, I've got my mark there. You can see that's about 1 inch an inch in from the corner of the wheel well here to here. Well, actually I went about 1.25 inches in, and then from here down it ended up being 1.5 inches, which was basically right to the center of this whole bracket here. That's about where that screw is going to line up. So that should give us a good clean line there to go off of. And again, I'm just using that rivet as a temporary hold right there to get my measurement. And on the back, did the exact same thing. Came 1 inch in off this, 1.25 inches in, I'm sorry, off of the wheel well over, and 1.5 inches down for this bracket to go on like so. So you can see how that kind of lines up. That should be about perfect. This is a little tool. It's a bullseye laser level that works pretty good. You can kind of see how I'm marking, just double checking those lines there, and they look like they line up pretty good. So that's another little trick. You can use a laser tool to kind of go off the center of that bracket, that large hole, to where you're going to be drilling that hole 1.25 inches off that back well. Now I'd recommend trying to drill that bottom hole for the rivet at the same time, and what I've kind of found easy to do while I've got this template up here so it doesn't scratch the paint is to just maybe take a level and use that level to get it set up here correctly. Get your level to use, make sure that you've got that leveled out appropriately, and then you can go ahead and drill that second hole while you've got that cardboard template up. Okay, now I've taken the template off, and you can see how I've got all the holes cleaned up, drilled all the way down, nice and straight. So we're going to start putting our mounting bracket. Now these side brackets of course come with a rivet that you're going to be putting in, and also a little washer. There wasn't any instructions, but I assume this little rubber washer is going to go on the inside like that. So that way it's up against the metal hole to allow, or to not allow, any water to get in. So you'll put the 2 rivets on there with the little washer, and then it will go right up against the frame like that, and you'll pop rivet that in top and bottom. Pretty simple. Okay, I've got all the clips installed now. You can see they're all riveted in the front, and back one is bolted in. Front's not too bad. If you got big tires on the back, it's a little bit of a challenge, so you definitely want a deep well socket to get up in there and get on it. And I would recommend leaving those back ones just a little bit loose. So when you slide that trim on, you can go back and kind of tighten it up. It's just a little something I found was a little easier on that other side. Just leave those 2 front ones kind of finger tight, and then go back and tighten them up after you get the molding on. And so we're ready to install the molding. Okay, here's the molding, and you're going to notice on the front and back there's a little notched or grooved area, and that's actually going to slide up around this front clip. So you're going to have to kind of start on one end or the other. I started from the back and kind of lined it up with that little hole there, or little groove. Get it on, and then kind of tap it with a rubber mallet to slide it up front, and then the rest of the molding will just clip or snap over these clips here, which we'll just tap with a rubber mallet gently to knock those in place. Well, there's the finished product. Got the rocker panel moldings installed. It took a couple hours. I'm not a mechanic. I'm just kind of a goof around on the weekend guy, but just wanted to show you it can be done. If I can do it, trust me, anybody can do it. I also, while I was at it, added that hood lip molding, which had been taken off, so kind of helped get it back to a little bit more like the original. And here's the driver's side installed, so everything's nice and snug down. So have to be real careful with those being more of an aluminum product. Those lips, inside lips, kind of bend a little bit, so just really make sure you kind of take your time, get everything lined up. But that's it. I hope this helps those other weekend warriors out that are looking at fixing their Stang up.